Okay, so this will be part two. I'll give it a couple seconds for you guys to come back in. I had a chance to call my daughter back because I got a daughter, a granddaughter, and a son, and sometimes it's kind of scary when they call you twice in a row. But she's fine. It's her birthday. March 16th is my daughter's birthday, so I'm going to have Ruby that day. But also March 16th is my MJ Unity Day. So everybody hashtag with no spaces MJ Unity Day, and where we're all gonna hashtag MJ Unity Day. We're going to share information. We're going to share videos. We're going to be in solidarity for Michael Jackson. We're going to have a moment of silence. And the song that we want everybody to post all the time is called Hold My Hand. Okay? In the beginning of it, a little kid says, "Come back." So we want Michael to come back. You guys know I'm a believer because I haven't found anything that proved to me in almost 10 years that Michael Jackson is dead. And if you want to know what I know, please get my documentaries, the Alive trilogy of Michael Jackson documentaries, available on Amazon. Okay, so let's get back. All right, to another lie. Okay, another lie. Okay, remember in Leaving Neverland, James went on and on about Michael wanting him to testify and how he said he wasn't going to testify, and that James said, "Don't ever call me again." He got really angry. That's all made up. And here's the proof of the testimony. I mean, I cannot believe that they really thought they can get away with this. No wonder the attorneys. Okay, one of the attorneys told a really good source of mine that James and Wade aren't doing any more interviews. Thank God, because there's enough to crucify them, and if they talk again, there's going to be more and more and more. Okay, so here. I'm not going to read you the whole thing. I'm just going to summarize it. That there was a certain type of ultimately the decision. I'm going to read this, okay, instead of me explaining. But ultimately, the decision I reached, at which I'll now announce, that is that I am going to permit the testimony with regard to sexual offenses and the alleged pattern of grooming activities, which is 1101 material leading up to the sexual offenses against Jason Francie. I explained to you guys that was Diane Diamond's faker that got paid $20,000 by her to lie and then blackmailed Michael. Wade Robeson, Macaulay Culkin, Jordy Chandler, and Brett Barnes. The witnesses that would be permitted to testify under this order would be James Francia, Blanca Francia, that's his mama. She lied. I already explained that. Charlie Michaels, I don't remember him. Philip Lamarck, Adrian McManus. That's the lying one that was in The Maid that lied about the shower, and then under oath she had to recant and said no, it was just Michael in the shower. Ralph Chacon, he's another liar from the Neverland 5. June Chandler, which is Jordy's mom that Michael had the crush on. Bob Jones, which was Michael's publicist at the time, who wrote a salacious book, and he had to admit in his book he wasn't telling the truth, and that he did not believe that Michael Jackson was a pedophile. And I was in the courtroom when he testified, when Macaulay testified, when Adrian McManus testified, I believe when Ralph Chacon, and others. I was in there a lot. Okay, the evidence of the alleged grooming of the other children will not be permitted. Evidence as to Jimmy Safechuck, Jonathan Spence will not be permitted. Okay, that was clear. And that was March 28th. So James said at the end of the trial, okay, this is what he said, quote, from MJ Hideout. "The last time I talked to him was near the end of the trial, and he tried again he wanted me to testify." Okay, this is what he says now. So at March 28th, you got all of April, all of May, and half of June, 2.5 months. Okay, Michael knew that he wasn't going to testify. Okay, and that he wasn't permitted to testify. He wasn't permitted to testify. And I heard they didn't even ask him to testify. Okay, they didn't even ask him. So, you know, these people just, they just lie. Remember I told you guys about the ex parte hearing that I'm going to tomorrow? Well, I looked up the definition of an ex parte motion. Is when one side gets to meet with the judge without the other side there. This means you can have your motion heard sooner that the law normally requires. The rules of ex parte motions / applications can be found in the California rules of the court. Okay, so that's what's happening tomorrow. So the judge is going to hear. So I'm going. Okay, I'm gonna see whatever I can see. Oh, and then another thing that's really important. You know that both of their cases got dismissed. James Safechuck case got dismissed. This is kind of important. Got dismissed June 2017. Wade's got dismissed December 2017. Okay, now this is California appellates. This is how long it usually takes for an appeal to last. So anywhere from 17 months to 28 months. Okay, so we should get an answer with Wade, I think around November 2016, and James April 2020. Okay, that should be the cutoff. We should get answers about their appeal, and I don't think there's any way that they can win on an appeal at this time with as many lies as they have told. Okay. Oh, and then there was this woman. She was really good. She has a lot of subscribers. Her name is, I wrote her name down. Hold on. Her name is Lovely T 2002, and she had brought this up, which I thought was really good. And she was talking about the case and the reason why they kept going on and on and on about they didn't know that it was wrong. They didn't know that it was wrong, which is ridiculous because people have been telling you it was wrong because the police interviewed you, James, and you knew that there was a 2005 trial, and you knew about the Jordy Chandler allegations, so you knew it was wrong. And Wade, you were 22 years old when you testified in 05, and you knew it was wrong. But they're trying to base it on a loophole in the law, but it's in appeal, so they probably used this and it was already thrown out, but they're probably gonna, because you can't add in new information on appeal unless it's like extremely material. So this might be what they are trying to use, and it says, well, that's just not accurate at all. It turns out there's a giant loophole in the statute of limitations that essentially lets the accuser reset those 3 years, but only on a very specific condition, namely having been unaware of the crime happening to you as it was happening. Basically, all you have to do is claim to not have been aware or that you didn't understand that the abuse was happening to you, and only now, years later, you have understood that you were abused at the time and that a crime was being committed to you. You could say that you discovered it through therapy or after surviving an accident. Okay, so right now, that's why they kept saying, well, we didn't know it was wrong. We didn't know it was wrong, because they're trying to get away from Wade telling Matt Lauer, I never forgot. It wasn't a case of repressed memory. I remembered everything. So now I didn't know it was wrong, even though, it just gets so ridiculous that you were questioned by the police and you were on the stand as well. So we're just knocking down lie after lie after lie after lie. Oh, Latoya. Oh, we got to talk about Latoya. Oh, my God. There's the videos are going around where Latoya was saying that Michael was guilty and it must stop and all this other stuff. And this was in like 93, right? But you got to remember with Latoya, she didn't witness anything. She don't know if Michael abused kids or not. She ain't no witness to it. But she later came out and said at that time, and see her black eye? See her black eye right there? She said, this morning, she tweeted this, okay? Freedom is extremely important to me simply because I thought there was a time that I wouldn't exist. I wasn't able to be myself and express myself. I was beaten, I was dictated to and told exactly what to say to the media and how or else. Okay, so she's explaining that she was beaten, she was manipulated, and she was controlled by this horrible man named Jack Gordon, who since died of cancer, I think, maybe a decade ago or so. Longer than that, gosh, maybe 15, 20 years ago. And she said that that's why she went on camera and said these bad things about her brother. And she wrote in her book, Starting Over, she explained it, the abuse and why she did it. So finally we get some kind of statement from Latoya Latoya trying to explain herself, by saying I was an abused woman and that's why I did it. And even though she said that, it doesn't mean that she witnessed anything. It was still an opinion. It was not that she saw it, okay? Also with Latoya, they thought Latoya was kidnapped. I remember Catherine was scared and thought Latoya would never pose in Playboy. That was another thing that he made her do. And it just so happened to be the #1 top selling Playboy ever when she was on the cover and she did the snake stuff. And Catherine couldn't believe that her shy, demure daughter would do something like that. So we do know Latoya was out of character when she did those things, okay? So we need to give her a break. And also, she didn't witness nothing, okay? So let's go back to me. Okay, it's getting dark. Oh, my goodness. So let's see if I'm going through everything that I'm going to go through. And I'm getting all my notes. Oh, another thing. You fans are so smart. And I thank Leslie Sava for telling me this. Leslie said, you remember last time, Pearl, in your last live, that you were talking about Thanksgiving Day in 1987 and how James and Michael couldn't have been with James that day and his family and then went on vacation? Okay. Well, Michael was in Brisbane. That's when he won the contest. That's when Wade Robeson won the contest, right? Won the contest. So they didn't even get their story straight, okay? Because what they did was they were supposed to read each other's stories with the public complaints that were out. And they were supposed to catch everything themselves, but they didn't, okay? Because they're sloppy and they think that everybody's stupid. And you think that you can just be a grown man and tell one story for 25 years and then all of a sudden tell another story and the whole world is going to believe you. And unfortunately, too many people are believing. Okay, are believing, like Starbucks, like the Lakers, and I love basketball. I love basketball, and The Simpsons, and Drake, and D.L. Hughley, and John Legend, and Oprah Winfrey, and Gail. All these people are believing people that have lied for 25 years, and they're trying to use psychobabble BS to justify it. Of course, if they say this is classic behavior, classic victim behavior, well, they could read that behavior just like you can. Gosh. And they're going to slip up because the truth doesn't change. Only lies change. And since they wanted to weave together such a complicated story, they were going to mess up eventually. And they did. And they did many, many times. They've messed up, okay? Let's see. I think I'm going through everything, guys. Oh, yeah, I went through all that. Oh, and you know what? I wonder, okay? James said he contacted the lawyers, but I know the lawyers were out trying to recruit other friends of Michael's, little boy friends of Michael's. I don't mean to say boy friends, child friends of Michael's. And I wonder who contacted who, okay? And then we know that James's family was going through that lawsuit where they were stealing money from old ladies, okay? And how they wanted old ladies to pay taxes on money they didn't get as far as their percentages of a business. Okay, and their family was in debt, was being sued by $840,000. Okay, so we knew that James and Wade had problems too with getting let go of the Step Up 2 movie directing job, and also from he didn't get the Circus Olay job, and how Wade said straight up, the estate must pay, not Michael. The estate must pay. Why are you an estate must pay? They got to be held accountable. Not his mother for raising him, you know what I mean, or his father, or the people around him at the time that let it happen, but the estate. So Wade's anger is at the estate for not getting that job. He felt he felt like they were dogging him out. He deserved it more than anybody else in the world. And forget that he was unreliable. Forget that he didn't respond to them when they first wanted to offer it to him. Okay? And then people will say, well, maybe the estate should have given Wade the job and maybe all this wouldn't happen. People that have this in them, they have it in them. And it will eventually happen sooner or later. Okay? Austin Brown, Michael's nephew, his sister Reeby's son, also tweeted that they would laugh and he would say, I would never do something like that. You know, people that do something like that are horrible people that lie and make up stuff. He said he would never do it. Okay, and now here he is doing it. So there's so many witnesses. Okay, this needs to go to trial because, in my opinion, it'd be the longest trial in history, trying to, you know, bring up all the lies that they have told. Oh my goodness, and all the witnesses. My gosh. Okay, so hopefully the estate is paying attention and they are keeping notes of all this stuff. Okay, I have no doubt in my mind that if Michael, if you want to come back and reclaim your legacy, honey, you're safe, and I got you. And so does thousands and thousands of fans. In Brazil, they did another, there was an outdoor with like maybe, I don't know, 75 to 100 fans protesting in Brazil with the Michael Jackson poster where it says innocent across his face. That was nice. And oh my God, the billboards in the UK that they had brought up, facts don't lie, people do, and it has the innocent over Michael's face. Somebody's trying to take those billboards down, but that's freedom of speech. So they work that hard, and we're not allowed to defend somebody that's not around to defend themselves. Okay, Michael, you might have to come back, babe. Okay, because I haven't found nothing that you're dead, and you know I know. Okay? All right, watch Alive 3 if you want to know who I believe is Michael Jackson today and the evidence that I have, which is, I mean, come on. You joined Twitter the day before the death announcement. And a whole bunch more. And a whole bunch more. Okay, so watch Alive 3 for that one. Okay, so let's see if, okay, so anyway, so guys, I think that's about it. And so I will see you next time. Make sure you keep Michaeling. And tomorrow I'm going to go and I'll go on live in the morning. Okay? All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.